Welcome to the Burnt Brass Homestead channel. Today I am making ramen noodle from scratch. It tastes better and the body can digest fresh ramen much easier than the 50-cent dry packs you get from the store. Although with inflation, it probably costs more like $1 a pack nowadays. This recipe is pretty simple. All you need is 250 grams of all-purpose flour, 3 grams of salt, and 3 grams of baked baking soda or sodium carbonate. Baking soda is sodium bicarbonate. When you bake baking soda, it turns into sodium carbonate, which is a much stronger alkaline salt. You can make sodium carbonate very easily or buy food-grade lye water from your local market or online at Amazon. I will leave a link in the description where to buy it. I make sodium carbonate by lining a 16 by 12 stainless steel sheet pan with parchment paper, then add about 2 cups of baking soda, and I bake it for 2 to 3 hours at 300 degrees Fahrenheit. The alkaline water solution costs about $10 to $16 on Amazon, which is a bit pricey to me when I can make it for myself for a fraction of the cost, and it lasts an extremely long time in an airtight container. Now mix the dry ingredients well. With the dry ingredients mixed, I add about 110 milliliters of water and mix together. This is a dry dough, so do not make the mistake of adding additional water to it. This dough is a little hard to knead, but most of the kneading is done when I put it through the machine. You can use a hand crank pasta maker or an electric one. As long as we have electricity, I use the electric one. Ramen is an alkaline noodle. The alkaline solution is what makes the noodle yellow and chewy. I dump the dry dough onto a flat surface and continue to knead it for a few more minutes. Because this dough is dry, it's a little harder to knead than bread dough. I then split the dough into 2 pieces and flatten it enough to run it through the pasta machine. You can get a KitchenAid mixer and the basic pasta attachments for a total of $400 to $600. Now, that could be a lot of money for some. Or you can still do everything I'm doing here, but with a hand crank pasta maker that will run you anywhere between $65 and $90. If you have no idea which manual pasta maker to get, I recommend the Mercado Atlas 150 pasta machine or the Imperia pasta maker machine. Both are sold on Amazon, and I will include the link to the manual pasta machines in the description box. And for those of you who are just extremely tight budgeted and don't have the extra funds to spend on a KitchenAid or manual pasta maker machine, you can still use a rolling pin to do all that I am doing here. Just note, when making ramen, because it's a dry pasta, it does take a little muscle to knead and to roll out. I ran the dough through the pasta machine several times on the first setting, which is the thickest. You could see that the pasta was getting smoother and smoother with each pass. Once the pasta was consistently smooth, I changed the setting to 2, which is a little thinner, then ran it through twice more. Now it's time to cut the dough. I used the spaghetti attachment. The hand crank pasta machine also has this attachment. If you have neither the KitchenAid or a manual crank pasta maker machine, you would fold the dough over and use a knife to cut. I use a plate to catch the dough as it runs through the spaghetti attachment. I move the plate back and forth to layer the pasta as it is being cut. This clip shows me cutting both halves of the dough that I prepared in the beginning of this video. It took about 15 minutes to make this ramen from start to finish using the KitchenAid stand mixer with pasta attachments. And at this point you can freeze or cook the ramen. It only takes 3 to 4 minutes to cook fresh pasta. Simply bring a pot of water to boil, then add the dough. Drain and serve in your favorite ramen soup or use in your stir fry to replace rice. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and subscribe to help this channel to grow.